Hello, I'm Bruno from HYPNOS and you are watching Stormbringer, the Austrian heavy Zine.
Bruno, you get a new record out with HYPNOS. It's called The Whitecrow. It's the first record after 5 years. And what did you take so long to make the new record?
Actually, the new record is not out yet. It's gonna be out next Friday, so we have like 1 week left. Anyway, the 5 years break. Actually, first 2 years after we released the previous album, Heretic Commando, we spent those years by touring, mostly over East Europe, and we played a lot of single shows over Czech Republic and Slovakia. Unfortunately, not so much in the Western Europe, what I would like to change in the future. And after that, we got a reunion show and tour with Krabator, what was my previous band. Me and drummer Pegas of HYPNOS, we also play in Krabator. And during those years, I was also writing my biography, which was published as a book, life story book. And then I started to write material for the new HYPNOS album, which normally takes 2 years to me. So I did it for like 18 months or something. Then recording session took like 2 months with breaks. Then mixing, I flew to Norway for mixing. And when we've been done with the recording, we started to offer the record to the labels. And dealing with the labels took also some time. Okay. When we got a contract with Einheit Produktionen, they put the first place in a schedule of releases, which was the March of 2017. So that explains why there is a 5 years break between the albums. But anyway, it was busy years, and we wasn't lying on the couch and doing nothing.
I didn't suppose that 5 years are gone like this normally then, if you are busy.
And you know, if there is the older band as we are, I don't think it's too good to release the record every year, because there's too many records around, and I'm personally not sure if I would do the record properly in 1 year as I want. And I always want to keep the certain level of quality, and I need the time for it.
Yeah, and it keeps the level of anticipation with the fans.
Yeah. You know, the 5 years break is not because we wanted to make our fans hungry for the record. Maybe it works, but it was not the intention. But anyway, you know, the album is a print of yourself, of your colleagues, and of the band. And the band has some reputation. And we just want to do the things the way not to break our reputation. So we really think properly about the ways we do the album and recording and stuff and everything.
Yeah, that's a very noble thing to do. Compared to Heretic Commando, the previous record, the new records, the songs I know from the video, it sounds very doomy, like doom metalish kind of style, in my opinion. Do you have the same impression as you've heard it over and over?
I agree with you. Yes, it's quite slower than the previous record. It's maybe not as brutal as Heretic Commando. Actually, especially me and Pegas, we love black metal a lot. Even we play death metal and we wanna stay in death metal style. But anyway, we are partly influenced by black metal, and I expected there will be more touch of black metal on that record, but instead of black metal there is a doom metal influence on it. I don't know why, where is it taken from, but anyway, we did it the way we like, and we just focused on the atmosphere. We just wanted to do the songs, not just a collection of riffs or collection of brutality. We just wanted to bring the songs with, you know, chorus and solo parts, just with the parts that stays in the head, that people remember. And I like the song in any style, not only in metal, to remember in the head. And sometimes you wake up in the morning and the song plays in your head. And that's the way I used to write the songs for years. So I'm focused on the choruses and the stuff like that. And that's maybe the direction we go more than before now on the new record. And it's slower, of course. But we will see.
Black metal can also be slower.
Yeah, and I would say there is also a little bit of black metal touch on it. I know the people differs, and everybody makes own opinion about it. And I can realize that this record is kind risky for us because we are not for 100% in old school death metal style now. It's not a classification like before. So maybe some diehard fans just will not like the album as much as the previous one, for example. But you know, I wouldn't like to write the songs the way as I wrote it 20 years ago, all the time the same. I would be bored, you know, and I just would feel I'm not improving, and I just need some development and movement, you know. I just wanna discover new territories. But even in spite of the things I'm saying, we wanna stay quite extreme band. We wanna just be minority style band, and we don't wanna be in the mainstream. Yeah. You know, because
there's too many bands in the mainstream anyway.
There's no space for us. We wouldn't fit in there.
This is the new album, The Whitecrow, which comes out exactly at the same time when the video will come out, 24th of March. Yeah. It's as doomy as the sound is. It's a quite positive concept behind this, and it's a white CD, so it's not so.
Good information.
Yeah,
He knows.
I'm well informed. Yeah. So can you explain the concept a bit?
Yeah. The title Whitecrow is because we feel. Often going opposite the stream, you know. We just feel to do the things the way that the majority is not doing at all. Especially, not in the music only. Generally, the people follow the trends, and the people used to follow the masses because they feel if they are inside of the mass, they feel safe. They don't have to think, and they just feel safe. And this album wanna say them, let's start to use your brain. If something is pleasant to you, just enjoy and do it. But if something is not good for you, just don't be afraid to say, I'm not feeling comfortable, I don't wanna do that. Even the 90% of people is doing that, I just don't want. I have a right to say it, and I have the right to do the things the way I want. Yeah, of course. So that's Whitecrow. And the other thing is that it's maybe kind of fashion that every generation, my grandparents and my parents and our kids will be saying that young generation is sick. They always say that. Yeah. It's not like when we were the kids, because it was much harder, and we've been better kids than they are now, and so on.
Like the loud people out there.
Yeah. And the Whitecrow is a young boy who decided to use own brain and go among the people and say them what he feels, and just he wants to show them that the quality of their lives is in their hands only. Because it's very easy to sit in the pub and to curse on the government, curse that everything's expensive and migration crisis and anything. Mm-hmm. But we curse week, month, year, life, and it's gone. Yeah. And this album says, let's be focused on yourself, on positive things that surrounds you. Get positive mind. Be happy that you wake up in the morning, because many people has no luck like this. Yeah. You know, many people is disabled, or I don't know, whatever. And let's be happy that you live in the civilized world. You are healthy. You just have the bed to sleep. You have the roof over your head. You have your job. That's enough to be happy. You have the music. Music. And realize such things cost nothing. Yeah. It's for free. And if you get this opinion and if you get this feel, you start to shine. And you can influence the people around you. And the little cell in society can change from the negative to the positive and can influence the other people. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's the closest to you because you influence your life, and then you influence the quality of your life. You know,
and the people surrounding you.
Yeah, because if you watch or on politics or whatever in the TV, yes, you can go vote or whatever, elections and stuff like that. But there is no big chance to change the major things in society, at least at this moment, I mean. but you can change the mood and atmosphere inside of your family, amongst your friends, and especially in yourself. And sometimes people asking me if I'm a religious person saying that, because it sounds like Christian
some way,
stuff, but no.
I know you're not.
I'm strong atheist. I don't believe in any kind of God, and I'm a fighter against the religions. But this principle I consider as a basic things in a human's life, to realize that we are here to be enjoyed.
But you don't have to be religious to do that.
Yeah. You know, I always say the religious people, they steal these life principles for yourself. You know, don't steal, do not kill, and things like that. The 10 Commandments.
Yeah. But it should be that way anyway.
That's not copyright for the church.
Yeah.
You know, that's basic principles of standard human normal behavior.
Yeah.
And they steal it and they say that's ours. That's our 10 Commandments. We Christians, we are good because we say this. No, you don't say that. It's normal behavior among people. It's valid anywhere without yourself.
Yeah. You hear that? Yeah.
Right. We are loud enough.
People out there. No, I just meant the religion part.
We're louder than the sound check is.
Sound check. Yeah. Where is this? Where has this guy has some kind of pest mask on? Why?
Yeah, because he's kind of doctor. In the Middle Ages, there was the plague doctors healing people from the pestilence, and I say that there is the pestilence amongst people, but pestilence of hate and bad mood and just
pestilence of the brain.
Yeah, pestilence of the brain. And this guy is a plague doctor, and he's healing people from the decadence and from the depressions and things like that. And that's, I mean, it's good to show him in the plague doctor mask. And the Whitecrow is. You imagine bird always, and it reminds the part of the bird's head. I don't know how you call it in English or in German.
Beak.
Yeah. It looks like bird then. Yeah. So it meets in more aspects then.
Yeah. It's a nice cover. It's something different.
Yeah. I wished maybe for 15 years already to have a white album.
Yeah.
Would just focus on the white curl and the, like snow and the black and white photos on it, and my dream came true now because finally I got a white album.
The black metal bands do that a lot with black woods and white snow.
Immortal, maybe 20 years ago. Pure was it Battles in the North?
Yeah.
Battles in the North is the white album. Yeah.
Classic black metal style, black and white.
Next cover on the next album will be black, and the album is gonna be called the Black Crow.
Yeah, that would be the next question. But anyway, that's there's many time till the next album.
I speak too much.
I read it in another interview. So.
Yes.
So you played in Krabator before HYPNOS, and you are around the scene since the mid '80s, playing in bands.
Yeah.
What changed the most in the scene? I mean, the media changed a lot. The internet changed a lot. What is the worst thing for you and the best thing for you, which changed since you began in the '80s? You know,
I don't consider something is worse and something is the best. Yes, the major change is what you said: communication, medias, internet, social websites, and things like this. Everything's fast. There is a lot of everything, and people are not able to absorb. Because I remember when I was like 15, 20, 25 maybe, I knew almost every metal record released.
Yeah, me too.
Now, I'm saying I knew like 1% maybe of the records that are released. At the moment.
Large amount. Yeah.
And I understand that people cannot absorb all this stuff. So, especially metal is very selected now. If you were a metalhead 25 years ago, you were listening to black metal, to death metal, to thrash metal, heavy metal, everything. But later it started to be selected. You know, if there was a doom metal concert, you've been black metal guy, you just didn't go at the concert. So the audience is really split up now. So attendance on the concert, it's not as much as before. But you know, we can be happy that even some people are still coming, because I can imagine it can be even worse anytime. You know, So I play the shows for 5 people maybe. So I'm happy that I can play for 70 or 80 now.
But you still played them.
Yeah, And I say, if the band keeps on working, and if the band believes in the things they do, there is still the chance to bring it higher, on the higher level. If you look at Behemoth or Gojira, the bands like that, they are really big in extreme metal scene. It's possible.
How is the scene in the Czech Republic at the moment? There are some older bands like Tortory and you, and how about the young bands? I mean, except Guta Lux.
I'm not so much into young bands now these days because there is a lot of bands. But anyway, there always been bands and there always are bands now. But as I told you, the metal is separated in many different styles, and I just don't have a time and the mood to follow all of them. So I would say we just more often play with the older bands. So that's all I can say.
The different generations.
Yeah, maybe. For example, I'm organizing the show in our hometown once in a year, December, just a few days before Xmas Day. And I always bring one opening support band of young guys. Because I say, when we were young, we also needed to help. And these guys needed help as well. And I change the band every year. I don't organize the concerts to have the same bands. So it's maybe 5-6 years already, and I always had a different band. So that's the at least a little bit I can do for them. It costs me nothing, and they are happy they can play in a crowd.
Yeah, of course. So that reminds me, the guy from Master who is singing, Paul Speckman, who is singing on the record as well, which we have here.
He's speaking on the record.
He's speaking. He's the narrator, of course. Yeah. He moved to the place near your place like 10 years ago.
100 meters from the place where I lived for 25 years. Yeah.
But now Christopher from he moved to the States.
They swapped.
They swapped houses.
I met Paul Speckman 2 weeks ago at his house. I gave him the new album, and he told me he's absolutely satisfied in Czech Republic. He is visiting States and family and the relations just one time in a year, maybe when they are touring or whatever. But he is happy to be in Czech Republic.
Yeah, I know. He's there for a long time, and I think it's basically for the beer.
He moved just very shortly after he joined Krabator, and it was 99, 2000, something like that. So it's 17 years.
Yeah, it's basically for the beer, I guess. Because they don't have good beer in the US. So
maybe maybe some import.
They have a beer there called Pilsner.
Budweiser.
Budweiser. There are. I think there are 3 more bands with the name HYPNOS.
Where?
There's a Greek band, a Swedish band, and a Polish band, as far as I know. Did you ever get in contact with the guys, or did they ever have a lawsuit regarding the name?
About the Greek one and Polish one, I know from the Metal Archives. And I know they are not existing anymore.
Okay.
So they didn't have much releases, I guess. Maybe some demos or singles. But the Swedish HYPNOS, they are growing up.
And some kind of stoner rock.
They are getting much higher than we are. So what can we do?
Just get a copyright on your name, maybe.
It doesn't work in this community, and I don't think we wouldn't get much success with that.
I mean, we play different styles, so maybe it doesn't mind. So
I remember Incubus. 25 years ago, maybe. They released pretty good albums. I love them, death metal albums, and they had a break. And when they got a reunion, they have to rename for
alternative. Incubus came in.
Opprobrium.
Because
there was Incubus. Some new metal. But it was a good band anyway. I like them as well. But they've been much higher than the original Incubus.
Good names are always taken first. So Bruno, it's what nice talking to you. Just release it to to the crowd and to the bar or whatever. I hope the show will be fine tonight. And this album will be out
next week on
next couple of days on Einheit-Produktionen. And just check it out. And there are some videos coming up as well.
Just the last thing I would say, just last weekend we shooted the new video clip that is gonna be out in 4 or 5 weeks. for the song One Flesh, One Blood,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be the most expensive production we ever had on our video. So I really got expectations of that video. I hope it's
We will watch out for that,
Yeah.
of course.
And you too.